The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
Michael comes in, he's a college star, he goes to the Olympics, and now it's all these stories of his leaping ability. He's scoring, he's dunking in his rookie year, he's averaging 28 points, and is one of the big stories of the NBA season. By now, the Bulls are owned by Reinsdorf. Jerry sees a lot of opportunities.
They knew they had Michael, but now it was trying to figure out what else worked. That included players and coaches. That was kind of the task that Jerry Krause was given, was to observe what we had and really change the culture. I learned early on that the best thing I could do was compliment Michael.
Jordan, having played only 18 regular season games, goes in and gets 63 points against Boston. That really opens national eyes to, wow, this guy, he's not just a great player, this guy is something different. Larry Bird says this is God disguised as Michael Jordan. Doug Collins is hired as coach. Opening night there in Madison Square Garden, Jordan goes over to Doug before the game, says, don't worry, coach, I'm not letting you lose this game. Scores 50 points. And from there, takes off on his spectacular season, averages 37 points. Even though Magic and Bird are winning titles, this guy is the guy that everyone in the league wants to see. This is the most spectacular player in the game. And now the stadium begins to fill up. Bulls tickets become a specialty item. What is he going to do next? The Bulls really enhance upon that. They put together a show that becomes iconic. The Bulls introductions, the Bulls game presentation, things that are going around in the Chicago Stadium. Nobody had done this. This is it's practically unheard of.
Outside of drafting Michael Jordan, the most significant draft was the year that they drafted Scottie and Horace. You could tell that they were going to give us a different dynamic on the floor. Their athleticism, their length was something that we didn't have. Now Michael was really a veteran, and now the younger guys had to come in and really show him that they could play.
The closeness and the bond is just not something that happened overnight, especially when you talk about a guy like Michael, who was globally a huge icon. We just needed that time to bond as not only teammates, but as friends.
The rivalries back then were more significant than they are now, especially in a division, because you played those guys 6 times a year. And it seemed like every time you turned around, you were playing them. They were real rivalries. We, for years, got bullied by the Pistons. It was confrontational. We didn't like them. They didn't like us.
It was a great rivalry. It did a lot for us in terms of teaching us. We knew that we were right there and that there was a few things that we had to do to get over the hump.
It wasn't kind of just handed to us. We had to take our lumps along the way. Every year we seemed to find a little bit more cohesiveness as a team, but it was a process, and it involved Doug Collins kind of doing his thing for 3 years, getting us to a spot when hiring Phil Jackson, and his teaching and coaching that gave us a little impetus to get to another level.
We had a lot of adversity going into that Game 7, which we thought we could win. We had such a great Game 6 where we demolished them. After that game, there was a lot of long faces. You really got a sense of how important this game was and how important where we needed to be as a group. I remember Jordan standing up at the end of the game, and we're in the locker room, and he said, "This will never happen again. We'll never lose to this team again."